Alright, we are rmtheroot. We are here to delete all of your main expectations about everything.
Yes, lots of deleting. Specifically, we want to delete the memory of The Last Jedi. Did I say that out loud? Okay.
If only I could delete it from my root.
We all wish. To start though, we are going to talk about the Star Wars SC-38 reimagined, and if you haven't already seen that, the link will be below. It is, in my opinion, amazing. It is the scene from A New Hope where Vader and Obi-Wan face off, but it has been re-edited with a completely new fight scene. The cinematography was just gorgeous. For this being fan-made, like, I honestly think this guy has the right idea. As soon as I watched it, I was literally like, Disney, why don't you hire this guy? This is what we need. This is what we want.
No, the lightsaber play was exactly what we've all been wanting from the series from the beginning. It was all the exciting parts of... one of my favorite guilty pleasure lightsaber fights has always been the Yoda versus Palpatine fight. And people criticize that one, and I always say Yoda shouldn't be that fast. He's too old. That was a ridiculous fight. And it was a little silly with the whole, Force moving those Senate chairs everywhere. But at the same time, they actually did something with a fight for once in that fucking series. That series is so cool, and so much potential was put into it, and we all remember it from all of our extended stuff, video games, comics, cartoons, really badass, awesome cinematography-filled fights. But the practical effects they ended up using for a lot of the things in the in the originals, until you get to the special editions, mind you, where he ended up just changing all of it for CGI.
Right here, Java.
He was a master of practical effects. The first 3 movies, if you can find the theatrical editions, before he made special effects to them and ended up putting CGI over everything, the practical effects that he did were amazing. He made little small-scale models and essentially did forced perspective for the space scenes, and it is essentially insane how those were filmed. There was a lot of old-school film editing technique, and if you're a fan of old-school analog down-to-the-wire film effects like a enthusiast would make, they were the perfection of it, and he seems to be hiding from that nowadays.
Yeah.
Side note, anyway.
Side note, yeah. But I think that we both can agree that prequels included, it's all better than The Last Jedi.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I will watch 3 times over the holiday special before The Last Jedi.
I am found in your eyes only. I exist for you. I am in your mind as you create me. Oh, yes. I can feel my creation. I'm getting your message. Are you getting mine? Oh, we are excited, aren't we? Well, just relax. Just relax. Yes. A little more. Now, we can have a good time. Can't we?
So we could make much more in-depth videos. We could make a whole series just destroying the Last Jedi. Where are the characters, like, essentially? Where is their motivation? Because at the very end of the Last Jedi, we have Rey and the remaining 20 people. Everyone's happy. They're like, yay, we escaped. And it's like, no, why are you happy? Literally 90% of everyone that is now dead. I mean, literally the entire New Republic was destroyed. What is it? And J.J. Abrams, set that up, so, we would have thought that, we would have thought that Episode 8 would have, answered some of those questions, but no, it just kind of starts up randomly, and there is no time jump at all between 7 and 8, so that's a whole nother bag of crap. But, why are they happy? They shouldn't be happy. They've essentially lost. I mean, Luke Skywalker is dead. Well, for what we know. Kylo essentially has control of from the opening title crawl. It literally says the First Order reigns, and it just causes these dominoes of what the hell? Because how would the First Order even reign when this movie doesn't have a time jump between The Force Awakens? You know what I mean? I don't know. There's so much there.
The plot gaps aren't plot gaps. There's no holes in the plot. There's just your expectations getting subverted.
If Rian Johnson really wanted to subvert my expectations,
he could have been a good director.
Yes, exactly. He could have been a good director. He could have done anything, literally anything else. God, here is something. Maybe actually have a lightsaber duel. Wouldn't that be amazing? Instead of Kylo and Luke dancing and not actually touching lightsabers, and doing magic tricks, why not actually have a duel? Which is why I'm going to say that Star Wars SC-38 reimagined, that's what we want.
Right.
That's what I want. Not
to mention
Star Wars.
Not to mention, I got really pissed when Rey went into the deep, scary vagina cave of darkness and
demonetized.
Demonetized. But she ended up having one of those God of War 1 endgame experiences with all of her other selves, but they pussied out from going the full God of War 1 ripoff that they were going for, and they didn't have her try to kill the rest of herself or have the rest of herself gang up and try to kill her.
Yeah,
that would have been cool.
See, the biggest issue with them, which is why there's so much writing on Episode 9, is they didn't have any sense of direction. And I think when they purchased Star Wars, they literally handed it to JJ and was like, all right, make a movie. and he came up with some cool plot elements, but he took easy street. Episode 7 is not bad, but it's not good. It plays on nostalgia. It kind of mimics a New Hope and a little bit of Empire.
Yeah, that's what I've said. It's what I said before. It just feels. It feels like a ripoff.
Yeah.
Of the first half of the original trilogy.
Now, if he would have actually sat down and been like, okay, I'm gonna direct 3 movies, or at least get the outlines, the structure, like a foundation for, okay, this is gonna happen, and then somehow this, and then we're gonna conclude with this. At least then the other directors would, had some sort of, arrow pointing you into a good story. But I honestly think they just winged it. They were like,
right.
Oh, okay, here we go, and then they handed it off to Kathleen Kennedy and Rian Johnson, and he literally, I mean, you saw Luke throw the lightsaber. That wasn't a metaphor. I mean, that was literally Rian Johnson throwing away JJ's script. Like
everything that was Star Wars.
Yeah, like that scene literally shows it. Because she is a girl.
I don't like Rey because she's boring.
That doesn't matter at all. I love the fact that they have a female lead Jedi. That is great. Her writing, her character is garbage because she is the definition of, I just like everything she touches just essentially rolls over and dies. Like she is essentially, it's like playing a game when you have invincibility and God mode and every cheat unlocked. That's her character walking through the story.
There's not a struggle
of Star Wars. If you look at the original trilogy, you see Luke grow and you see him fail and you see him almost give up.
You see him nearly get fucking eaten in a pit by a monster.
And then it makes it so much more rewarding to see him succeed.
And almost even by a different monster later on.
Oh yeah, I mean
even the episode 3 official video game on my PS2.
Oh,
you can't blame me if you haven't gotten this far in the game by now. It came out in 2005.
It's really hard though.
It's a very hard game. But I got that far. I got that far when I was 12. Damn it. 12. I think 12.
We're not all that great, Ethan.
But yeah. But if you beat the game, there's an extra level that you can play at the end. Because, the last level is you playing as Obi-Wan versus Anakin in an awesome battle at the end of the movie. Well, and then you cut his arms and leg off, and his arm and legs off, and you end up doing the end cut scene. Well, then you get an extra level after the end cut scene where you play as Anakin instead of Obi-Wan. And if you end up winning that extra level, the cutscene ends up with you stabbing your lightsaber straight through the stomach of Obi-Wan Kenobi. He ends up falling over dead. You have this kind of... It has the shadows done really well for a PS2 game over your face to do that kind of demonic evil-looking thing. So you have this evil Hayden Christensen look on your face, and you end up walking through a line of stormtroopers, guns up at attention, towards the Emperor. And as you get up to the Emperor, he's congratulating you on your victory, and he presents you with a lightsaber. And he starts talking to you as you open the lightsaber and start looking at it, and he's telling you that now that you have defeated the last of the powerful Jedi, you two will go throughout the galaxy killing the other Jedi, and it will be you two who will rule. And as you're looking at the lightsaber, you then kill the Emperor and go, "No, the galaxy is mine."
That's
They've had balls back in the day. That was the official Episode 3 game.
yeah, it was. Another really cool one. So we're just gonna start throwing out spoilers here for all these old games. Is it The Force Unleashed 1 and 2?
Yes.
There's actually a really cool ending to The Force Unleashed. It was the original one, but it's kind of weird because they made a sequel. So if you beat it and then chose this ending, a sequel game just doesn't make sense. But whatever, you can actually come back if you choose to actually kill Vader. You kill Vader and then like you wake up and like the Emperor has like you're like all contorted in this like new advanced like General Grievous looking machine, and the Emperor's just laughing, and like you become the Emperor's new apprentice, and it just like totally throws out all of the rest of Star Wars. But it's just like, oh, I think this is it for the Star Wars rant. We've kind of like derailed off of it into video games and whatnot. But as Ethan said, we are rmtheroot. Like, share, subscribe, all that jazz.
And if you don't, we're going to come in, we're going to delete everything out of everything that you know and love recursively.
Exactly. It's just going to be poof.
Gone. Anyway, it's nice to see you guys. Signing off.